Hey Copper Nerds, I'm very excited to talk to you about our 750 subscriber giveaway package. It is fantastic. It's right here in front of me. I will be talking about the details for how to enter somewhere in this video. To get something this cool, you're going to have to put the work in. You're going to have to watch this whole video if you want to know how to enter. And looking forward to talking about it with you right now. Let's get into it. Well, I've kind of got you as a captive audience here for a moment, but briefly, history of this channel, I've been collecting for a handful of years. My father and my sons have been collecting for decades, so I'm kind of the latecomer within the family, but I come from a family of numismatists. I started out as a gold and silver stacker. That was largely just retirement planning, and it's really paid off. I've absolutely crushed it on the gold and silver that I've purchased over the years. So, when I thought the prices were getting a little outrageous, I shifted a little more heavily into numismatics, with my focus being on early American copper. I joined the Early American Coppers Club, and I live in the middle of nowhere in Montana, and I don't get much interaction outside of once or twice a year. I'll get to go meet up with some coin folks. I often, the last couple of years anyway, have gone to the ANA summer seminars and taken early American copper courses there and hung out with EAC members and copper nerds. And at some point I spend a lot of time on social media in the copper groups as well, because that's where I get my socialization, is through some of the early American copper dedicated groups on Facebook. And I recorded a couple of videos for the channel there, or not for the channel, for the Facebook groups there, and uploaded them just to a channel that I had for years, where I mostly just posted family content, just to share those with the Large Cent community. Well, a friend of mine, Tom Deck, who is the proprietor of largesense.net, which is a fantastic early copper website, all kinds of resources and references, and he's also a dealer. So there's an early American copper inventory you can find at Tom's website at largesense.net. Tom was like, I like your videos. I think you should keep this thing going and see if you can actually create a copper content YouTube channel. And that's what we've done. I was talking to Tom, and membership was slow. You know, we had our first 100 members, kind of our normal crew, and then we pick up one or two a day here and there. And we finally made it up to 500. And on the eve of being at 500, we're at like 497 or something. Tom and I did an interview, which you should go check out, demonstrating his Virtual GRELLMAN software. Virtual GRELLMAN is an app that's used for attribution. It's not a resource book beyond that. It is an attribution resource app that also has some cool features, including tracking your own personal collection of early American copper. There's a personal collection tracking tool built into the app. Super cool. So go check that video out. Anyway, Tom and I were talking about Virtual GRELLMAN, and we talked about how all of the photos that are used in Virtual GRELLMAN came from the Dan Holmes collection, which we're going to be talking about here in a little bit. So one other reason to pick up the Virtual GRELLMAN app is to have access to high quality digital photos of the entire Dan Holmes collection. That's cool. And then of course the app is named after Bob GRELLMAN. Bob GRELLMAN is a coin attribution and grading wizard. He's had a long career in copper, and he presently works with Chris McCauley and does a lot of auction cataloging, both for Early Sense and for other companies. Bob does catalog descriptions and grading. And Bob, we'll talk about it later, but Bob says one of the best ways to learn how to grade is just to read auction catalogs that are well prepared, because you get great photos and you get to read the grading notes from people like Bob himself. Okay, so Tom and I were talking about how we were almost at 500, and we did do a giveaway at 500 of a braided hair large cent, and that took many, many months to get from like 250 to 500. And in fact, I was stuck at 499 for days. So my wife subscribed just so we could do the giveaway. So I was talking to Tom. I was like, maybe we should not do this giveaway at 750, because that could take months and months and months again. Maybe we should do the giveaway at 600. And that was a week ago. Then I had one conservation video kind of go viral. Our membership has jumped up, or our subscribers have jumped up like 100 overnight from 500 to 600. We're crossing 600 today for sure, which is wild. So we have all kinds of new interest. When a week ago, Tom and I were talking about how maybe doing the giveaway at 750 is too far out. We should do it at 600 just so we can get it done. I have a feeling this one at 750 is going to go fast. Okay, that is a little bit of the background. How did this all start? Channel subscriber Stephen Powers, one of our first subscribers, offered either for me to have for my own collection or to give away his first edition River GRELLMAN late date attribution binders. These are first editions. These are copyright 1986. They got tabs and whatnot. Very cool. There's been several editions since this one, but this is the original. This is a piece of, numismatic history in these binders. These are very old, and we have first and second edition in terms of attribution guides. This was some of the early, very well put together attribution references. And Bob's book has been updated, and at present, I have a current edition. You'll see it's very much the same as the old ones. Again, a couple of varieties might have been added, but the book itself, the formulas you use to do your variety attributions have not really changed. So, Stephen sent me these binders to give away for the channel. And then I messaged Bob and I told him what we were doing. And I said, hey, could you just send me a note or something that I can throw in with these binders when we get to our giveaway? And Bob said, no, I'm going to send you a bunch of cool stuff. So Bob sent the following. First, he sent a recent catalog that he worked on. This auction just happened a couple of months ago. Some instructions on where to find the prices realized. Signed by Bob as cataloger. Let's take a look at this. It is the Fred Borchart Hall of Fame collection of U.S. large cents. Very cool stuff. Bob had mentioned that some of these haven't been publicly offered ever, and some of these pedigrees go back to the Civil War. So there's some great coins in here, some great photos, some great descriptions. Again, Bob suggested if you want to get good at grading, you just take a look at these photos, take a look at how he describes the grades, and that's going to be a helpful resource for you. So tons of great photos. Some of the finest known examples of these late date large cents. Lots of them still have mint red. Lots of great stuff in this catalog, which Bob put together and signed. The next package that he's included for us is the Dan Holmes collection, parts 1 and 2, still wrapped in plastic, hardbound. This is a real treasure, you guys. I happen to keep the Dan Holmes catalog paperback on my desk, and I look at it often. Fantastic coins. Again, all of these are the photos that were used for the virtual GRELLMAN app as well. So if you can't get your hands on a Dan Holmes catalog, you certainly can get your hands on virtual GRELLMAN and have access to the photos. But having the auction descriptions and grades and details, very important as well. If you can get your hands on one of these catalogs, definitely do it. There we go. A gem 1794, Sheldon 67, ex-Lord St. Oswald, an English collection where they came straight to the mint, picked up some copper coins, took them back to England, and they stayed there until I think the 60s when they came back to the US. So that's mine. Get back to the hard covers here. So you've got both the early and middle date large cent collection hardbound from Holmes, as well as the prices realized, again signed by Bob as cataloger. How much did this auction bring? $15,167,666.25. And that was back in 2009. So another getting to be vintage. I mean, there's probably not many of these still out there wrapped in plastic. And I've not seen this prices realized sheet when I've been looking for these catalogs before myself, but a very neat little package from Bob. What you're going to have to do to enter into this giveaway is simple. I just need you to drop into the comments, and I need you to type Bob's last name somewhere in the comments. What I'll do when we get to 750, I'm going to use an AI tool. It will search for GRELLMAN as a keyword. Again, must be spelled correctly. It's going to allow only one post underneath this video to be counted for any one user. So doubling up's not going to help you. Don't even try it. And you can use the word GRELLMAN just anywhere in your comment. That is going to be how you enter this giveaway. So I don't know, this package is worth hundreds of dollars. I would hazard a guess that this package is worth $500 or $600. Don't hold me to that, but I do believe that these original guides are probably worth, at least 150 or 250 bucks, maybe a few hundred. They're in really nice shape, and I've never seen plastic wrapped hardbound Holmes catalogs. And again, we've got the Borkart catalog. We've got Bob signing both of those things. This is a valuable package. I'm excited to give it away to one of you. Thank you for your support. It's been a really interesting and fun journey. The goal of the channel is just to spread awareness about copper and to try and build up the early American copper collecting community a little bit. So thank you for subscribing. Thanks for checking all this stuff out. Remember how to enter. Type Bob's last name down there in the comments. As soon as we hit 750, we're going to select a winner, and I will respond to your comment in these comments. The comments must be made under this particular video and no other. And after we're done talking in those comments, I will catch you on the next one. Peace.